What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Strongside. Castle level is a 29. Looks like he validated it on an archer right here. So let's jump into it and take a look at what he's got. Alright, looks like my inventory is full. That's pretty standard for Viewer Castles. At least I have potions currently. Alright, so looks like I'm going to have to headshot a few of these barricades down. It's just the easiest way to get through setups like this. I'm just trying to make it so I don't take much damage. Alright, so that should have been one of them. It looks like there's at least two, maybe three, so I'll just do it 3 times. Alright, that should get rid of the barricades there. There is one more there, but it'll at least get me off of the mouse wheels, so that's really the most important part. Okay, so this setup is actually something that I used at one point in my castle. It's very similar. It's not quite exactly the same, but it's barricades plus ballistas. I can't take full credit for that setup though. Too Shy to Chat actually used it before me. It just worked really well right when Defense Crafting came out, so I decided to make a castle similar to it. Before I had materials and stuff like that, you know? Alright. I think you're a little bit even overboard on ballistas because if you're going to dodge them, you're not going to get hit by any of them. So it's really just to keep the person moving for the most part, I think. I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but like if I kite back properly, I'm not going to get hit by ballistas. But sometimes you'll make mistakes. You'll have to dodge a certain way to escape like skill shots from the creatures that you have. You know, if this guy shoots a laser at me, I'm going to have to dodge in a certain way, and that might make me take ballista damage. So I usually only try to keep 1 or 2 pressuring every area. It's not bad if you do this, you just have to have something that slows them down. You know, you have to have either mouse wheels or jelly walls or something that keeps them from, you know, just running past them, because it's a lot of points that you'll use up very quickly if you just spam traps like really heavily. Because that probably went through a third of your castle at this point, just because of the amount of traps. And I haven't had to use a potion yet. Might have to use one here though. I don't know what happened with that volley. It must have been a little bit too far or something, and then it just bugged out. Alright, I'm gonna use a potion just because I know that Goatman's gonna do a ton of damage to me. So I'd rather just pot it instead of risking possibly dying. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can pull this with volley. I used to be able to, but I'm not sure if it'll work still. Looks like it still barely hits that end, but it's not as good as it used to be. This room is actually a lot better against archers. If you use mouse wheels here instead of the ballista, it makes it way harder. I probably couldn't volley over that because the range wouldn't be enough. I'd have to try to headshot, and I don't think that would work, so this room got better with the last patch, against archers at least. I think Mage's Vortex is still pretty long range. This is a pretty cool room. If these were tall bookshelves instead of just normal ones, your Goatman would hide behind it a little bit easier. I don't know if that's what you're going for, but that's what I would do with that setup, because they're kind of out in the open for everybody to see. So if you can get them hidden behind the trap, or the bookcase rather, and then they go and attack it, and they run straight through and, you know, take extra damage that way because they didn't expect it. It's usually pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna avoid as much of the caustic carpet. I actually think this is a bad place for a caustic carpet, specifically because I only have to go from this square to this square, so I don't really even have to travel on the caustic carpet hardly at all. I can just kind of roll over it like that, and I won't take any damage. I would like it better in squares that you have to really go over the entire thing. I mean, I like that there's springboard traps that help out the spike traps, you know, right here, right there, and right there. I like that because it gives a little bit more damage to them, but if you don't have to go over the majority of the spike trap, then it makes it really easy to just kind of roll over it or whatever you want to do. Alright, so yeah, made it through. Like I said, using your points like a little bit better with the traps and stuff like that is probably the easiest way to get a little bit more damage out of your castle, because if you kite like properly like I was doing there, ballista traps don't really do enough of a job as anti-kiting, basically. Mouse wheels are good at that, you know, things that will interrupt the person when they're moving through, but ballistas will only just keep firing, and they don't really do enough damage. You know, they're going to always fire on top of your hero, whereas stationary traps like mouse wheels, like rotating flame traps, stuff like that, if you kite through them, it's more likely for you to get hit by them. Ballistas are better at just keeping a constant amount of pressure on the person as they're fighting, so they'll take a little bit of damage, especially if they, you know, go in conjunction with the mouse wheels and you get stunned by it. So let's jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, number 2 is Kazow. I don't think I've done his castle since Totems came out, so I want to see what he's doing. Maybe I ran one version of his castle, I don't know. I know he asked me to run it, so I'm going to go through this one, as well as the last castle, which would be Genesis RVA, that I almost guarantee that I'll die on. Let me actually sell just a little bit of stuff so my inventory isn't full, and also buy a few more potions just so I'm not out of them, if my inventory will load. I'm just going to sell off the stuff that I don't have to check to see if it's good. So pretty much normals, legendaries, and greens. And dyes, because I don't need those. Alright, that should give me at least a little bit of space to get through fewer castles. Alright, and then I'll buy a couple potions. Never go into battle without them. And then I will jump back in to Kazow's castle. Alright. Let's check out what he's doing here. He mains an archer. Hope you don't mind a little friendly visit. I did not get hit by that, which is good. That's a cool thing that you can do, though. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, but at the same time, it's pretty effective if someone just kind of rolls through this area, because a lot of people do that. You know, I usually roll down the bridge, and then I just continue. But some people will walk down the bridge and roll through this, and if they do that, they're right up next to a bunch of goatmen that can pretty much just be an instant kill. Alright, looks like we go into a few empty rooms here. I'll try to find some of the mines, but I'm not gonna like hunt them down. The timing is actually really tight on this castle. So with talking about it, I'm obviously not gonna be able to make it through, but I don't know if I'd be able to make it through anyway. That's really good time, especially if there's totems in this castle. Alright, so I'm gonna just take a few of these barricades out like I did in the last castle. It's kind of what you have to do in this circumstance. You don't have to. Obviously when he ran his castle, he didn't, because you wouldn't be able to do that with the time limit that he's giving you. So if you're trying to 3-star this castle, you actually couldn't do it. Alright. Okay, so it's going to be a barricade castle. Or it's going to be, at least the first room is going to be a barricade. I've gotten decent at getting through those without using a potion, since I had one in my castle anyway. Oh god, that might hurt. Alright. Well. This is cool. Bear traps really shut this group down, though. Alright, so I used one potion. I'm still okay with that. I've went through quite a few points, so one potion isn't that bad. Probably about 1/4 of the castle, though. I'm not in like an amazing spot in terms of the potions that I've used. Generally, if you... Hold on, I want to try to get through this without getting completely destroyed. Alright, so there's the first totem group. Okay, so I managed to get through it, and I'm still pretty much full life. So yeah, I was a little quiet there because I was trying to dodge all the boomerangs and stuff like that. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, if you get ahead on potions in a castle, like you feel like you've went through a third of it, like I did in the last castle. I kind of thought that I was through at least a third of it, and I still had 3 potions left or something like that. I don't really remember. I hadn't used a potion. I don't remember exactly what the situation was. You can use potions a lot quicker. You know, when you think you might be in trouble, you can just spam a potion really quick because you have an extra 1 or 2 to use if you've done really good in the first part of the castle. Alright, this is a pretty scary group that I'm going into. I'm going to try to just... Okay, I'm not actually going to be able to kite it. I'm going to use a potion here and just kind of run in and try to kite to this side of it. You can see that this side's going to be a lot easier because creatures have some issues with totems at this point. Like, I can pretty much initiate on this, throw some bear traps out, they'll get stunned before they make it out, and hopefully I'll be able to kill one unit before they heal. But I shouldn't take really any damage. I can just kind of auto-attack, and eventually I'll kill things. Way better if I bear trapped, though. I can't believe that actually hit me. Maybe they fixed this unit. I have to actually check that, because that was longer range than it should have worked, too. I'm pretty sure. So, as I've always said, I don't know why this guy is not taking damage. This might actually make it so that I can't get through. Okay, never mind. It was just the totem bugging him out. But yeah, running to the opposite side of a totem is usually best because people haven't gotten amazing at like covering both ends of the totem. And if you don't have that end covered, it's really easy to like abuse the AI that the totem give. Not sure. This is like obviously going to be a kill zone of some type because there's a lot of trap pressure here, so there has to be something in here. I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to actually get it. Yeah, that volley range is ridiculous. Oh god. Alright, I think I'll just go in. I'm going to take 1 tick of this damage really quick and then I'll do this. Oh god. I got so many blocks. That's pretty lucky, actually. I blocked every one of those archer shots. Alright, so I shouldn't actually be focusing on the Flameo, to be honest. The archers are more dangerous, and when you're in a room that's open with a Flameo, you can pretty much kite it forever, and it won't ever kill you. It's really that initial leap, and if you're in a tight spot, because you'll get, you know, flame breath and killed. So yeah, I got a little bit lucky on that kill zone with the archer plus Flameo combo. It's something that I've seen a couple people using now. It's really good because that stun gives enough time for the archers to line up their shots. It almost seems like the Flameo stun doesn't actually work on stun immunity either. It seems like that stun isn't affected because I was launched by all of these springboard traps, and I had a bunch of stun immunity built up, but I still got stunned for a very long time, and all of the archers hit me. It looks like about 5 archers maybe. So if I hadn't blocked, like, probably 4 of them hitting me would have killed me. So I would have had to block at least 2 to survive that. But yeah, pretty good castle. We will jump into the next and last castle in just a second. Alright, lastly we have Genesis RVA. Castle levels of 30, obviously. He mains an archer. Although he has every class at level 30, so I don't know exactly what he validated with. It could have been a mage, but I'm guessing it was his archer. And he's got a lot of caustic carpets, a lot of hot rollers. Pretty much everything you would ever need to build a castle with. So I have to try to be careful, but I'm interested to see what he's got going on in this castle. Alright, I'm gonna just go for it. I have a feeling I'm gonna die to this castle, possibly many times. I like the jelly walls. The jelly wall adds a lot of space control here. I already died, so I'm gonna heal up and just get through this castle. And he's got forward kiting covered with the hot roller. Possibly the better thing for me to do, I'm not even sure if that would be possible, to be honest. I was going to say if I could get the creatures to run into the hot rollers a little bit, that might be good. This is an interesting way of using this guy. I'm not sure if it's as effective as having it up close. I mean, I know the jelly wall's there, but maybe replacing the silence trap or something, I don't know. I can see why the silence trap is there, though. Alright, let's continue. I like that one. Slowed me down. They're really good in conjunction with hot rollers. But it is a lot of point cost. It's at least 15 just use it once. Oh my god, that was bad. Alright, I'll go over here and kill the mine, although there's no point because I already died. Alright, so there's another group up there. I'm not sure how I can hit this to kite it back. I don't know if this is going to be a... Oh my god, that was so close. I'll just... it's going to be a totem group. I can see the totem now, so... Yeah. I'm going to try to see if I can go up here and have these guys come around this corner and actually get hit by the traps a little bit. It comes right around this edge, so it's possible. So how does he have this totem actually? Is it all the way in the corner? Yeah. So this is the same T-junction room that I use in my castle, but I have mine a little bit more centered. It's still just barely enough to get them outside of this room and onto the traps. And these traps can pretty much one-shot these guys, so... You know, the traps itself can just kill them, which is ideal, obviously. People use a lot of hot rollers and a lot of caustic carpets. That's like the one weakness to them. Alright, let's do a little bit of forward kiting because he does it to my castle. Now that I've gotten through the two, that's one thing that I could think about is like, once you get through those first two totems, you know that all of the groups after that aren't totems, so you can easily just forward kite it without even looking for the totem itself. Or kite it back or whatever you want to do. That would be one reason. That's kind of the reason why I had one of my totem rooms at the front, one of my totem rooms at the back. Because I don't give that information away. But I'm not really sure if it matters that much, or if there's like, you know, negative aspects to that as well. What's hitting me? What is that? That looks weird. It must just be the caustic carpet debuff on my skeletons, but it looked weird. I thought there was like my skeletons were turning into rancid runners or something. Alright, let's see if I can get through this. Oh my god, this is gonna kill me. This killed me in the last time I went through his castle as well. Same basic setup. I would probably do the same thing if I had a Flameo. That nerf to volley though. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to the range. I'm not even sure if I'll keep it as an ability yet. I may switch out to Frozen Arrow or whatever, because the reason why I used volley in the first place was for the initiating. Oh my god, I almost killed myself to the fire. Was for the initiating part, because it had such long range. But yeah, obviously you have a good castle. You have so many of the caustic carpets and hot rollers that it's really difficult to get through. So that's pretty much it for this video. As always, if you guys enjoyed what I do, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of Eurocastles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. Level 20 and above castles, links in the description, as well as the spreadsheet that I kind of throw all the castles into when I update the list. I actually just updated the list yesterday, or I guess probably 2 days ago when this video comes out. So it should be updated for most people, but if you've emailed me very recently, then it might not be on there. But I'm going to try to get through this list as much as I can in the next couple days to next week, depending on when I have time to record and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.